Morning, guys. I just had this thought coming out of the shower. You know, sometimes as a person with a disability, I don't know how it works for the guys in the States if you stumble onto this. Um, but maybe when you want to be successful at something, because your family has been your assistant for so many times, depending on your disability, and it may seem overbearing at times. Sometimes, when you want to be successful, um, don't tell your family because their fears may inadvertently rub off onto you, and it's gonna cause you to procrastinate. I don't know. I just thought about this when I was in the shower. Thinking of filling out the forms finally for a year, but I'm not. Uh, I'm not all that 100% sure yet, I picked up on this trend last weekend when I ended up down the road to a friend of mine with an Uber car, and my family member asked me, well, why don't you just let me take you? And the answer to that is, I still want to be regarded as a man, and pulling up in an Uber car is much better than pulling up in a family member's car. Um, but it's driving yourself still beats the hell out of um, using Uber, because what happened to me when I stepped across the threshold with the driver, uh, because the driver is my age, we're about 33, 34, but he's a great gentleman, whereas I'm not. Um, the lady of the house asked, are you his father? And that just really sucks. So sometimes you just want to quietly go about your success. But I mean, that's just a thought from my side. I hope the video angle is okay because I want to show you guys one or two things, which is why I'm still shower ready. Standard shaver. Elbow support is either on my knee or on the desk here. But for this case, because of the angle of the camera, I'll just. It's not going to take off much because the battery is a bit low. But this is how I do it sometimes. Now I do use the soap and blade, but when it's at this length, just to save time and water, just use the electric trimmer. I guess what I'm trying to say, and excuse the crude analogy, um, most of us, we all grew up with a load of toilet paper next to the loo. That's the way our parents taught us, wipe front to back. Um, but it is okay if you want to swap out those value systems and start using a bidet. It's more cleaner, it's more sanitary, you'll feel more fresher. And the same goes with your other independent skills. Again, I'm just going to roll back, grab some body spray. Excuse that sound, that's just my electronic aids. Again, this is the brand I use and I prefer the atomizer style to the roll-on so that you don't get cysts. Same technique, thumb and forefingers. For most of my things, it's Peter Pointer and Tom Thumb. And then you've seen a pile of clothing always stacked up on my desk. It's just easier than using, show you again, it's just easier than using a standard drawer, because sometimes the domestic worker or my grandmother packs the clothing a bit too tight. So yeah. And also, when I'm in a hurry to pack a quick bag for an overnight trip, it's already basically packed. You can just shove it in. And then of course you can see standard clothing, standard collar. Try and keep the shirt buttons pre-buttoned as far as you can. And then find the balance point again. Now, my buddy 330D leans forward with his arms in first because he can't reach the back of his head like I can. So, but this is how I do it. I use the backrest of my wheelchair, keeping the balance. Lean forward. Now, in the textbooks, the physiotherapist always told my mom, and this is why I'm saying, you want to hide your successes sometimes. I just leave the top button open if it's a collar golf shirt like this one. You want to hide your successes because the medical model is very conflicting for our parents, especially if you were born in the 70s and 80s. Because according to the textbook, I have very poor trunk control. But forward and back in my chair is relatively fine. I suffer extensive spasms when I talk excessively. But yeah, but in terms of on the job, you have a few sleight of hand tricks. Just let me pause it for a second. Again, what you see, standard pair of shorts. Nothing has been adapted. There's no Velcro. There's no clips. It's just a standard pair of elasticated shorts. Yeah. So again, this is what the therapist means when they talk about extensive spasm. The body goes like that when you speak. So what I'll basically do is, in most C7 to C5 quad, depending on how you were treated on your golden hour, we'll use the spasm and just like that. Doing my best to protect modesty, as YouTube does not like swearing and lewd videos too much. And then it is pulling up as far as you can. Now, this is working fine. Again, you'll see modesty is protected, but you're still getting a lesson. I'll just use a standard pass sheet over my chairs for the transfer. On bow days, I'll sit right forward and then let the water do the work. Now, this is where I'm not so sure as to how well you're going to see me thread my leg through the jeans. While I'm at it, the reason why I chose boxer shorts over briefs, or these are boxer briefs, is it's just easier when you want to pop in a quick urinal or whatever the case, because I find if you have hand function issues, the brief elastic is a bit too tight. But you can let me know your opinions on that. Thread it through. I tried initially when I changed from foldable to rigid frame wheelchairs, I tried to get dressed in bed, but that was just taking too long, and sitting up on my own is a bit of a pig, as they say. You'll notice I'm true to my word. Most of my jeans are not overtly name brand jeans. In South African currency, if I can get away with spending 100 rand on a pair of jeans, I'll go for it. As a teen, I was all up into the Levi 501 type of jean. But as an adult, man, if you can get done for work in the morning, go for it. And the conversion, rough off the cuff conversion, rands to dollars, $100 is about $15. Yeah. Again, up with the bum. And then, obviously,